drew some cards. Just trying to figure out how to reread them because messages were like important on impact. And there is a reckoning, a witnessing, a growth period, a generation moving from one stage to the next. And so that would be coming out psychologically in certain ways. Old tropes, fears, that kind of thing. Repeating patterns, the opportunity to reach out and touch something different is there. A witnessing as the Venus star goes down in her descent in Virgo, but it's not really a descent, it's inward and it's foundational. As it's doing that, you would be called to figuring out those types of things in your life. What's imminent, what's foundational, what matters. Rewriting values. There would be a lot of activity. A little activity in the home. Activity in the home. Some of us, this is the home. Even if temporarily. At any rate, there's movement in a lot of these places, and so psyche might feel like it's cracking, things falling apart, or building back up. You know, perhaps we're building on sand. Maybe we're hoping we're building on foundations, and we're learning those parts of the lessons in the earthly domain. Others might be more in the inner sphere, but everyone will be sort of called to somewhat of that inner sphere while we're Mercury retrograding, to take a back look over what is going on for you, for the world, for your next steps, for who you are. You know, if you fucking do that sort of thing. Opportunity is there to decide what you love, to decide what's worth continuing to build on that is already structured, emotionally perhaps, or physically. Maybe celebrating what is coming out of 9, this sort of destructo of things. This does seem a lot mental for a lot of people, I think, because of where everything else is. But there is a repetition of Cancer. Perhaps it's some sort of emotional barrier, or maybe you want to look at where it is in your chart, something with Cancer. I think, I'm trying to figure out what that Barbo's basket, Cancer is sort of like in the mix of that. So it's still playing a pretty big part. At any rate, what else? Boy, oh boy, I think there's probably a lot, but, you know, birthing stuff, solidifying things, or working them. Let's say moldable, working them. Seeing through deep into yourself, passing the element of resistance. Like a true self-witnessing. Like if you can turn, sorry, I don't know what the fuck I was pointing at. If you could turn the wheel, if you could turn things around visually, like looking in a mirror. I honestly think that it's like, when we think it's reflecting, it's like, oh, it's showing me the same thing. But if you look in a different type of mirror, not one that just shows you, but one that you can sort of look through, like that series, The Black Mirror, right? There was old scrying things found from ancient times, and they were black, but tea, liquid, whatever. But these particular things, it's like staring into the void, and what stares back is usually something deeper within you than just the outward expression of your vehicle. So the looking in that way is like, oh, it's not your front, it's not the opposite that you chose to represent the opposite part of you. It's like, and then imagine you see things And it twists when it goes in, the way your eyes see things. So, something to consider when looking at patterns that you think you've recognized, and then they're like slippery little fish. But I think it's a call to slow down, a call to trust. I mean, like, if you think about a woman about to give birth, at that point we want mood lighting, we want practical things around, but we want comfortable things around. We want to know our set and setting. We want to know who the fuck is around. Are they safe? Is it safe? Is everything protected and ready to bring this little holy light being into the earth? So that's the set and setting. And maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it's what you're being called to do. Maybe you feel the notion, the nesting, the roosting, the settling in, the speaking plainly, or not much. Less use for words, more use for pacing and bonding, real bonding. Playing with this dog and stuff, bonding in these different ways. When you start to get their little telepathic connection with them, I do it through their body. Like, they're more embodied. So getting him to trust me and stuff, I've been walking him without a leash everywhere, and like playing and things like that. So it puts you in a frame of creating a safe space, using play and teaching. I mean, that's knowledge and wisdom, I think, are some of these sort of membranes that come through and sort of get shredded a little bit during the birth session for the baby. So where the fuck was I going with that? So I think it's about rebonding those. Oh, that pain wound, that big pain wound, that essentially why it's so hard to remember coming through, or remember any other metaphysical sort of details with this sort of accuracy, is that wound. Like, initially on birth, that trauma of coming through is so much, and it's of separation. It is like imprinted into our bodies, and then to seek it again, but then seek it again in like this sort of trapped way, material attachment. So with that as a basis, I would say happy digging into your psyche. You know what I mean? That mirror image and that wound, that original wound, why it's so hard to remember, you know, those lives, but not your power, or the things that hurt you, or the things you would be wanting to, you know, think about in this incarnation, from wherever your little light stream came from. And that was long-winded, and I'm about 8:30 minutes, 8 minutes 30. So I'm gonna wrap it into a tidy little bow, I guess. Self-understanding, deep, beautiful openness and introspection, a gentle basket of potential trust to lean into, spiritually, psychologically, seeing things on that mirror image, but seeing it's not just reflection in a mirror, it's deeper than that, and allowing the best feelings in you to ride the wave as much as whatever other feelings are there. And know that every emotion is passing through. Just say it. Ooh, I feel the emotion of, and now that I recognize you, where did you come from? What are you asking for? It subsides faster. And I think that's all for tonight. There's a little tree for you. A little bit of the beauty of the black and some green. All right. Night night, y'all. Happy portaling.